Hey everybody, I'm back for another 10-Minute Tuesday, and tonight I'm going to talk about seasonal allergies. And this is such a timely topic because within the last week here in Central Illinois, we finally had our spring explosion. The grass is starting to turn green, the flowers are starting to bud, and so are the trees. And so along with that beauty outside comes things like seasonal allergies. And in fact, James just woke up yesterday and said, hey, I think I'm having some allergies happening this year, and what am I going to do? So, an allergy can describe a number of different conditions caused by basically a hypersensitivity to the immune system, to anything in the environment. That's something that usually causes little to no problem in most people. But in about 20% of people, it will cause them to have some kind of allergic reaction. And that's actually a lot. That's 1 in 5 people have some kind of allergy. So today I want to specifically talk about seasonal allergies, also known as allergic rhinitis of your nasal passages. But there's other things like food allergies, dermatitis, asthma, anaphylaxis. Those things are more related to other items I'm not going to discuss tonight. So tonight I'm just focusing on the seasonal allergies that we have here in North America. And we more commonly call it hay fever. And it doesn't even matter which season that is. So in the springtime, the trees are blooming and they're releasing pollen. In the summer, it's usually from grasses and weeds that are blooming. And in the fall, it's ragweed is the kind of like the number one allergen in the fall. So your immune system, and what happens is your immune system identifies an airborne substance that's usually harmless. They identify it as dangerous. And by responding to that, it releases histamines and other chemicals in your bloodstream, and basically says, hey guys, go attack this foreign invader because I don't want it in here, and causes this kind of chain reaction of things to attack those allergens in your system. And this could, those reactions from that could be anything from like a running nose, sneezing, itchy, red, watery, even swollen eyes, congestion, increased mucus production, coughing, or even wheezing, especially people who have asthma on top of this. Seasonal allergies can be very uncomfortable for them. So self-diagnosis is pretty common because if you're a person who has allergies and you live in North America or Central Illinois like me, you're like, yeah, duh, I have these. I already know all about this. I'm dealing with it today even. This is nothing new. But a lot of people just self-diagnose because it's pretty noticeable if you're getting like kind of what you think is a springtime cold, except you're not having a fever. That's more than likely some allergies that are happening. And you can always go to your doctor or your allergist and have them confirm a specific allergy that you might have. They can do some different blood tests or even patch tests on your skin to kind of see what you might react with. So you can always confirm with your doctor what might be the one that's bothering you the most. And then allergy management usually just involves avoiding the trigger or even taking a medication to improve the symptoms. So avoiding an airborne allergen is not always possible, especially if you're in rural Illinois or some kind of place that's in or around a farm, or even places with lots of outdoor, flora and fauna. It's not exactly easy to get away from stuff that might be causing you an allergic reaction. So medications are often used to kind of help alleviate the symptoms because allergies cannot be cured. Now, as I'm saying this, there might be something that happens in the future that they come up with that can cure allergies. But as of right now, we can only help to alleviate the symptoms and help to reduce the sensitivity that we might have to an allergen, but we can't completely cure our reaction to it. So people take different things like antihistamines, which work to prevent the release of histamines into your system. So that's what I said, is gets released when that allergen is breathed in. Your system releases all those histamines. Well, an antihistamine is usually works best when you take it before you come in contact with some kind of allergen, because it's going to block those cells from releasing those histamines and causing those allergic reactions. There's also decongestants on the market that can help reduce some of the allergic symptoms like congestion or blocked airways. And I want to mention, like, while lots of these are over-the-counter medications, it's really important to follow the correct dosage directions, whatever they're saying on there, and always checking with your doctor in case of any other interactions that it might have with current medications that you're on. I am totally not against medications. I try to reduce the medications that I take, but when you are taking them, you need to be smart about it, and you definitely need to check with your doctor to see if anything else that you're doing might be interacting in a negative way, kind of exacerbating some of the symptoms or making some other things worse that you weren't exactly aware of. So always check with your doctor, even with over-the-counter medications, to see if they're going to be safe for you during this stage of your life, whatever you're going through. So some of my personal suggestions if you're dealing with some seasonal allergies, and again, these come from my own personal testimonies. I'm not a doctor. I can't make recommendations to you, but this is what's helped me. So drinking more water. I already did a separate video on how important it is to stay hydrated, but drinking lots of water can help if you're having some decongesting, congestion issues. Drinking that water can help thin that mucus, keeps your body hydrated, keeps your body doing everything it's supposed to be normally doing, pushing the mucus out of your body when it has too much. You can use a vaporizer or a humidifier, so those both help put moisture back into the air, keeping your nasal passages and your mucous membranes moist, which is really important because what happens in our nasal passages is we have these little hair-like things called cilia, and those are constantly moving mucus around, in or out, in your body for expulsion. It helps clear out things that are in your airways, kind of allergies, pathogens, bacteria, all that kind of stuff. So it's really important that we keep those passages moist so our cilia and our mucus can flow faster and better through our airways and kind of keep all that stuff clear. Nasal irrigation is another popular thing, and I just realized I forgot to bring up my neti pot. But I'll put up a link to the neti pot that I have in the comments on this. But basically what that is, it's a little ceramic pot. You fill it with some water, some sterilized water, and a solution, usually a saline solution, and you tip it into your nose in one nostril and you let the water flow out the other one. So you can look up YouTube how that all works. I'm not going to do a separate video on that, I don't think. But what this does is it helps to flush your nasal cavity of any mucus or debris or allergens that are in your nose and in some of your sinuses. So what's great is it uses gravity. There's no pressure that you're applying. It just uses gravity to draw the water through your nasal cavity and kind of take any mucus and dust and dirt along with it, allergens as well, especially if you're having those allergies. So that's a great thing to do. And if you use it safely and correctly, this can be a great temporary relief for your allergies, but it's also something you might want to add to just your normal personal hygiene routine on a daily basis. So I don't do it all the time, but I do definitely do it at different times throughout the year, depending on what I'm dealing with. So a neti pot is how you can look that up, and again, I'll put up a link to that. And it also helps reduce inflammation. So if you're congested, a lot of times your nasal passages are just inflamed and raw, and they're kind of going on overdrive. So the neti pot can help reduce that inflammation as well as clear out the mucus that might be in there. And then last but not least, as I mentioned, you can't cure allergies, but I love to use things that will help support my respiratory system while I might be going through allergies. And one of those things is essential oils. And I've talked about these before, but tonight I just want to hit on three awesome ones for respiratory support any time of the year, but especially during seasonal changes. There's lavender, there's lemon, and there's peppermint. And this is like a bomb trio as you're going through some issues maybe related to the season, just helping your lungs do what they're supposed to be doing on a regular basis anyway. So lavender is really popular. It's good for room freshening. Diffusing it can help calm your mind and your body. Lemon is great for cleansing and freshening your house. It has a bright and clean aroma when diffused. It smells really good. And then peppermint as well is refreshing and invigorating, can help support your respiratory system during any season. Honestly, it's so great. And what I do with those three is I add them in equal parts to the water in my cold air diffuser. This is one of them that I have running. I've actually had this going while I've been talking here. It smells amazing. But I put in, 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of peppermint, and this is such a great combo to have going in your household. Everybody can benefit from it and support all of their respiratory systems during any season of the year, but especially if you're going through some seasonal allergy issues. So those are my recommendations for today, dealing with your seasonal allergies. Would love to hear what you're currently doing, what you've tried out, what's worked for you, what hasn't, and we will talk again next Tuesday for another 10-Minute Tuesday. Bye!